right, hello, welcome back to the Cup Chasers podcast. Thanks for being here. Thanks for listening. It was devastating at Old Trafford today for the Chelsea Blues. Not a pretty picture at the end in a scoreline that pretty much tells the true story of the game. Let's go ahead and get likes up on the video, subscribe to the channel, and get that notification bell on. We got plenty more coming for you. What are you telling me, Patrick?
Thought we started bright. We were very bright in the start. Fully expected that with a much younger squad, which I've been calling for since Bournemouth. Actually since Forest. Just play kids. Just play kids. That's all I've wanted to see. So I was glad to see that. I thought that they were aggressive, but it's the story of the season. We can't score. Doesn't matter what. Mudryk whiffed. Connor pushed one wide.
Were they playing on ice?
Felt like it.
Because Gallagher fell down about 6 times.
That's
Even
just how he
Varane-
plays.
Even Varane slipped one time.
It's Trafford. Maybe
Yeah,
you know what? Maybe they're worried about the FA coming to them about the length of their grass since they're in Manchester. Looking around, so they cut it as close as they could. So it got a little muddy.
Maybe.
He
looked like he looked like he was falling on purpose.
Well, that's Gallagher for you. I get players who give effort. I appreciate that. But there's a point where talent has to meet that effort. You just don't see the talent with Gallagher. You just don't. He's an engine. That's the best way to put it. He's an engine, but he's not somebody you're going to build around. He's not someone you want up near the front of goal.
Is he a Chelsea product? Like, did he come through the academy?
Yeah, he's through the academy. So if we sell him, he's pure profit. Pure profit.
Yeah, but that's like his biggest draw now because he's like, you want it. He plays so hard. You want him to do good. Like,
yeah, of course.
You want him to be good, but he's not.
I mean, that's the thing. The one thing, and this is why I got so frustrated with Frank last week or on Monday. I guess it's Monday when we did this, because I want to see these guys actually go out and try to perform. I want to see if there's actual talent there or if it's just effort. With Gallagher, it's clearly effort. It's a lack of talent. I think that there's talent in Mudryk, but he's low on confidence. He is way low on confidence. Because I went back and I watched some of his tape from when he played at Shakhtar, and he was so confident scoring. He was taking shots. Right now, he's scared to touch the ball. Like when the ball comes to him in the box, he doesn't know what to do. And that's not what he was like at Shakhtar. Wasn't like that at all.
Well, he only played like 80 games before he came to Chelsea.
Oh, I know. He's still got so much time to develop and grow and that's why I'm really excited about Pochettino is if he can make Dele Alli look like the way he made Dele Alli look, then I'm excited about what he can do with some of these guys. And if he thinks that Gallagher's in his game and his plans for the future, then maybe he's got something that he can do with him. But you watch Madueke, you see the talent. Dude is doing it on the right. There's something there. Chukwuemeka, you could see the talent. He played pretty well today.
I thought he had a decent game for sure.
Yeah. Even Lewis Hall. I thought Lewis Hall
decent as well today.
16 or 17.
He's got a shot on him. He can really connect with the ball.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. And so the scoreline sucks. Don't get me wrong. But I wasn't upset about this one. One, because I haven't cared. But two, I at least got to see the kids run out and play and show that there is something there. And I think that was the one thing, maybe it was Lee Dixon, I can't remember. He kept saying, there is talent in this team. Because there is talent in this team. They just need organization, they need confidence, and they just need some form of stability. And I'm excited about the summer one because we're gonna cut the team down. Even though I really still don't want to sell Pulisic, but it's going to happen. But did you see when he came in? I mean, he put one right on a platter and nobody made the run for it.
He had some fight too.
He had some fight.
Yeah.
I mean, that's in the Chelsea world, it's Pulisic or Mount usually. And, the English like Mount, others like Pulisic. And my thing with Pulisic that I like is that fight first off. But if he's played in the right position, if you put him on the right, he sucks. He's terrible. He looks like he should never touch a soccer ball in his life. But if you put him on the left, he knows what he's doing. He plays well. He goes at defenders. He will make runs in the box. He is everything that we have missed since Hazard left. And that's what I was excited about with Mudryk, and maybe that will come true for him. But, we don't have anybody like that right now. And that's what Pulisic is. So unless there's a replacement for him, we're not going to have that next year either. And that's what I'm concerned about. But that said, Dave does not need to play anymore. The dude gets ran ragged.
He looked 1,000 years old again.
He did. He really, really did. Fofana played poorly. He doesn't play well on.
He was awful.
Right. He was terrible.
He was awful.
Horrible today. He doesn't play well on the right. He's played much better this season on the left. Yeah. On the right.
Left, Chalobah had a good game.
He played on the left. That's right. So
that's why
they played. They played Fofana on the right, and they played Chalobah on the left.
He looked decent.
Yeah, but Fofana was terrible. Chalobah played well. He's come to his own. I will say that. He showed some value.
Well, by comparison to some of the others.
Yeah, exactly. Again, I don't understand playing Dave. I guess maybe farewell tour. I don't know.
I honestly thought that, and I'm serious when I say that, Kepa may have saved his job today.
I agree completely. Yeah. There were so many saves that he made today, or that could have been like 8.
It's wild to say that when he gave 4 goals, but he also some of the saves he did make, he may have, Pochettino might be reconsidering, the getting a completely new goalkeeper.
Which, I mean, I think we're still going to get a new goalkeeper. I think that he'll stay the number 1 to begin with, and somebody will come in and try to take it. Which he'd be a strong too, And when we made our run, to the Champions League final and winning, it was because he was our 2, Mendy was our 1, but we would play, Kepa every now and then to give Mendy, rest or whatnot. And when Mendy played out of his mind for about 18 months, and then he stopped. Actually, it was about 6 months. He really started to fall off right after the Champions League final. But he played well. The one thing that came about from today, watching Chelsea against United, Chelsea is a bunch of players with no collectiveness to it. There's no cohesion. It's, well, this guy's can do this, but there's no one over here to take that pass. Or this guy does this, but this guy doesn't know that he needs to make this run. And I think that's one thing that makes Nani stand out, because he's actually playing well within the midfield and him. you saw perfect example of it was when Felix scored. That was all him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he didn't pass it off to Pulisic, who was making a run on the left. He took it, and I have no problem with that. I mean, we're down 4-0. I don't care.
Yeah, go for
But
it.
I think it just makes a valid point to where it's not a collective group. It's this player can do this player can do this, and they don't work together.
Well, I'll tell you why. And this is, another point I definitely wanted to make, and you kind of brought it up without really saying it. Has Frank completely wrecked his coaching career?
Oh, he's had to.
Because with these performances, the lack of cohesion, the lack of understanding what to do is right on Lampard.
Well, see, that's interesting, and I agree. I agree with you. Lampard came out after the I think it was after the match, or maybe it was before the match, and they were asking him what was different from this time compared to the last. And he said, I grew as a manager with Chelsea the first time. I grew as a manager at Everton. He's like, this was such a mess that I wasn't able to actually talk tactics and formations and things like that. He's talking about, well, they're not able to train and this, that, and the other.
You can tell.
And you can tell. So I'm not taking that blame off of Potter by any means. But again, it comes down to you're professional. You know what to do as a player, specifically your older players. There has to be some want to be better. I mean, if you're competitive at all, you should be ashamed right now of where this Chelsea team was this year. I think it's the worst league finish that we'll have since 1986, which is when we were last relegated. The least amount of points that we scored, least amount of goals we scored in a season. Goal differential is the worst we've had. I mean, it's just line after line after line after line. And, I know a lot of people want to point to the new ownership. I can understand that. Don't blame them one bit. But I think that, again, I truly think this is something that's been boiling to the top for years. I'm not even talking about the last year. I think it's, at some point you run out of cards to play and you're going to have to start all over with a new deck. And that's what's happened. I feel like the Pochettino will bring us some stability. He'll bring us some fire. That's the one thing that's really lacked in this team in general, I felt, even though Enzo got into it with Bruno today, but that's Bruno,
easy to do.
Bruno's nice. Yeah. But Pulisic hasn't played in 3-4 weeks. He comes on, he's got fire, he's got effort, gets into a fight with De Gea pretty much for no apparent reason.
For no reason.
And it was United here, Chelsea here. And that gap is really, really big. And that's more of a testament of Ten Hag. I mean, they were talking about at the end how Ten Hag is taking this team and he's built a core or a foundation, and now he the expectations are going to go up because of it, because they see, started slow, but he's got his team made up now, which I think there's still some things that they need to do there, and they're going to screw it up by going to get like a Neymar or somebody like that. But you could tell the difference. And that's what I hope that we get with Pochettino. And I think we will. I don't think we're going to challenge the league or anything crazy like that. I think we get into Europe next year, depending on what kind of turnover there is. Still got to have a 9.
It's going to be tough.
Somebody's got
next season won't be easy.
No, it won't.
With the Brightons and the Brentfords and the Fulhams and the Villas and the Liverpool,
I'm gonna be interested to see Brentford though without Tony consistently. Like Mbomo and Wisa are good, but they're supporting cast. can they rise up consistently to
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
those main guys? But yeah, it's not going to be easy. I'm not. It's going to be a challenge, but I also think that the style, I think, just the overall makeup of the team will make things at least a little bit better, or at least I hope so. I mean, right now I'm hoping for like a freaking Fulham season. I mean, it's
Yeah.
bad. It's
Fair
bad.
enough. Fair
But yeah,
enough. Yeah.
what do you think of today? I mean, just in take out Chelsea's poor performance. Like, what did you come away from this one with?
Well, I mean, my biggest takeaway was that Chelsea kind of lack cohesion. I thought
Mhm.
that it was most evidenced by the fact that in the middle third, y'all played some really good stuff at times. You were able to
Mhm.
break through the lines at times. There was some good one touch, two touch stuff, some good stuff down the wings. But in both boxes, you were atrocious. You were unforgivable in both boxes,
Yep.
defense and offense. It was a shambles. And that's just perfect evidence of there's no real cohesion. There's no
Mhm.
real connection or glue. And I've said that about Chelsea all season. You lack a creator
Mhm.
who can take a hold of a game
Yep.
like Lampard used to do himself
Yeah.
and really control the game and say, hey, we're going to press forward now. Everybody press forward. We got the ball in their third. We'll keep the ball. We'll pass it around. We'll score a goal. Or, hey, we've got the ball now. Let's cherish possession. Let's pass it about in the back. Let's a little bit. I'm going to connect it to the forward. Okay, no, I'll get it back and I'm going to keep possession. I'll go this way,
Yeah.
but I'm dictating the game. I'm
Yeah.
controlling the game. Chelsea doesn't have that. There's
No.
no one,
No.
which has shocked me all season long because you have guys in there that can do it. You brought in another one in January in Felix, who proved, that he, in fact, cannot do it.
I
Mount, that
think
should
Enzo
be
does.
something Mount should have been able to do, and it just time and time again, Frank hasn't gotten it right, and I think it's glaring as far as his managerial career goes. I think he needs to take a step back and learn some stuff, but
Needs to learn to be a pundit for a while.
yeah, there you go. From a
And I'll
United
say
point of view,
this.
I think it's interesting that Ten Hag's his best style seems to have developed into a Mourinho sit back and counter.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not the United I'm used to. And
Mm-mm.
when I asked Brian, the United fan, about it, he told me, you know, third place, trophy, FA Cup final, tough to argue with. And if he's very results oriented.
Sad times for United. If that's the case.
Yeah,
I mean, truthfully, let's be
like I say,
honest.
like
Let's be
it's not the
honest.
United I remember,
No,
but
it's not.
I
I,
think that, and I'm gonna be sound crazy for saying this. I thought United were woeful in front of goal as well in that
no,
first
yeah,
half. They
yeah.
they were they were some.
Martial should have had a goal. He ended up getting one, but that first one he should have
The
just
first
buried
half
down
they were.
in that net.
It's just a testament to how bad Chelsea were that United weren't great finishing and score 4 goals.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, and kind of going back to the both boxes, I think one of the problems on the defensive side of things is the shuffle. I mean, what was it? Last weekend we had Fafana and I think it was Silva
Silva
playing,
played.
and then you had Shalaba out on. Did he play on the wing? I don't know. He may
No,
not.
last
Yeah,
weekend was
he was.
Dave,
It was
and
Dave.
he got ran ragged, even
Yeah,
worse.
and so like that shuffle, I think plays a huge role um, on the defensive side, more so than on the offensive side.
Yeah.
And that's another thing that I'm really hoping this summer we make some decisions on certain people and build what our back line should be. And there's been injuries. There's been injuries all over the place. But that back two should have stayed the same most of the season.
Well, I agree. And if you agree that Chelsea got a lot of work to do this coming off season here in the summer, go ahead and smash up the likes, subscribe to the channel, and get that notification bell on. We'll be back real soon.